Edward Douglas White. He was born on November 3rd, 1845, near Thibodaux, Louisiana. He was born on a plantation. His father was the former governor of Louisiana. On his mother's side, he was related to the Lee family. In 1861, he left school and went to join the Confederate Army to fight in the Civil War. After the Civil War, Edward went back to school to study law. He attended Mount St. Mary's University and Georgetown College, which is now known as Georgetown University. After he finished his studies, in 1868 he was admitted to the bar. He served in the Senate from 1874 to 1879 and on the Louisiana Supreme Court from 1879 to 1880. He was then elected to the U.S. Senate in 1890 and served until 1894. He was appointed to the Supreme Court by President Grover Cleveland. He was appointed Chief Justice by President Taft in 1910, and then he served until his death. Edward White took part in many court cases during his time. Some of them include Bailey v. Alabama, the U.S. v. Oppenheimer, and Chicago Board of Trade versus the United States. And a big one is Plessy versus Ferguson. Edward White died on May 19, 1921, and today there is a school named after him in his hometown of Louisiana.
Those that were involved in the case were Alberto Gonzales as the petitioner, Angel McClary Raich, and Diane Monson as the respondents for the case. The case was granted on June 22nd and first argued on November 29, 2004. The case took place in California, and due to a California law in 1996, it's what led to this case happening. The case took place in California August 15th when drug enforcement agents went to Diane Monson's house and destroyed 6 marijuana plants, and Raich also running into a similar situation in which both ended up suing the government. It was a complicated set of circumstances due to the fact that what they were doing was legal under state law but illegal under federal law, due to California creating a law in 1996 that allowed marijuana use for patients who were seriously ill. Raich and Monson were using the marijuana for medicinal purposes as intended under the state law to help with their personal health problems. Raich also wanted to detail that she would go through excruciating pain without it. The case went to Supreme Court because Congress didn't want to deal with conflicts between this state law and the federal law, as it made other situations that dealt with marijuana very complicated. Raich lost the case against the court in a 6-3 decision. Congress gave authority to not allow the cultivation of marijuana, completely nullifying California's laws to grow it. Congress saw this situation as a way of preventing marijuana access to other users. The case was decided on June 6, 2005.